This is the opportunity. You can't come back to me in 10 years' time and say, well, we missed all of that. All the rich people got richer. No, you, I, everybody else is saying, now is your time. Don't be irresponsible, dollar cost average, do all the right things, but here is your opportunity. This is the biggest opportunity I've ever seen, and I'm going to take advantage of it, and so should everybody else. This is not rich or poor. This is an every person opportunity, and we've never had this before, ever. I did a piece that was probably the most viewed piece I've ever done on YouTube. It was like, I don't know, 2 or 3 million views, called The Retirement Crisis. And it resonated because I kind of showed how people haven't seen it, check it out on YouTube. It's well worth your time. And it's a long time ago. It predicts a lot of what's going on now. And the point being is that there's a bunch of retirees, the baby boomers, and they've kind of screwed it all up because they've got all the debt. They've got too much equity exposure. It's really hard for them to retire. This is why the Federal Reserve don't like equities going down, because you've got this richest group on earth who are kind of stuck. They never got enough money to retire. But I want to look through the eyes of the millennials. So they are 32 years old. At the same age, their parents at 32, the baby boomers, had all-time cheap valuations of equities, all-time cheap bonds, all-time cheap credit, all-time cheap property, right? So they couldn't help but make money. They kind of screwed it up because they actually ended up going into debt as well. But they couldn't help but make money. So then the millennials had the opposite, all-time record valuations of equities, all-time record valuations for bonds, all-time record credit, all-time record highs in property. So I'm like, these guys are screwed unless something else comes along. And that thing is crypto. Because the future expected return of crypto, it's been growing at 213% a year in returns. That's how much it makes, even though it's very volatile. Sometimes it's down 70%. Over time, you're making 213% a year. It has grown as an asset. It's gone up, I think it's 2 million% since inception. No other asset in all recorded history has ever done this. And we haven't even started. I still think there's probably another 100x from here. Not even the baby boomers got given that. The S&P didn't go up 100x since 1980. So this is the magnitude of what's there. So I'm screaming from the rooftops saying, you might be cynical. You might think you don't understand it. You might think you can't afford to play in this, but you have to listen, because this is the opportunity. You can't come back to me in 10 years' time and say, well, we missed all of that. All the rich people got richer. No, you, I, everybody else is saying, now is your time. Don't be irresponsible, dollar cost average, do all the right things, but here is your opportunity. This is the biggest opportunity I've ever seen, and I'm going to take advantage of it, and so should everybody else. This is not rich or poor. This is an every person opportunity, and we've never had this before, ever. So I'm kind of safe in this crypto space now. Can't really lose money, but I've got cash flow coming in. So even if I did lose it, it's not going to change my life. And in fact, cash flow coming in gives me an ability to buy at lower prices. So I'm structurally set up to take advantage of the biggest opportunity I've ever seen. And I'm comfortable with that. Now, I don't know what percentage of my total net worth it is, because I don't think of total net worth as total net worth, because those are things that are never going to change. My beach house in Little Cayman, do I sell it and buy something else? I'm not going to invest in something else with it. That is the answer. Lifestyle is the answer to everything, right? We don't do anything else for any other reason, I don't think, or you shouldn't. To be rich is not a future state. To have the lifestyle that you want is the future state, and that can be anything. You can live on a shack on a beach in Nicaragua and be the happiest man in the world. Go for that. So that's what I care about. But liquid net worth, yeah, everything, and I feel underinvested. I'm desperate to, waiting for the next quarter when more income comes in to put more in, because I feel underinvested at all times. That's how much conviction I have. I've never done that before, ever in my entire lifetime have I ever taken a bet like this. So if you think about Robinhood or any of these big IPOs that have just happened, what they're basically doing is there's a bunch of VCs who've made 1000x, 100x, whatever the number is, and have got obscenely rich, investing in something that you're not allowed to invest in because of the law, because you're not an accredited investor. And in fact, the system's so set up that you're never, ever going to be shown this opportunity. And then, at the very end, When the asset's gone up so much, they then list it on the New York Stock Exchange or the NASDAQ and dump it on retail when the best gains have been had. Now, within that, there's always going to be an Amazon and a Microsoft and an Apple. But your chances of getting it at the higher price, so you're the 52,000 guy and not the averaging at 30,000, your probability of success is always lower than those guys. So the system is against you. In this, the institutions are being held back by regulation and can't do it, but we're not. And we know that they have a lot of money because it's actually our pensions. And so they're going to put our pensions in this in the end. Well, we might as well make money from them coming into the market later and driving up prices ridiculously, because that is what's going to happen. Once this ETF is listed, every RIA in America is going to be advising their clients to buy the Bitcoin ETF and the Ethereum ETF, and it'll drive another $500 billion of price appreciation. You know, this is all coming, and it is the opportunity.